And News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Is this the tether?
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers and Angels pulled out close wins in the 10th inning last night. The Dodgers got a walk-off double from Freddie Freeman in the 10th to beat the New York Mets 6-5. The Angels held on for a 4-3 win at Boston. The Angels are a game above 500 on the road. Coco Gauff defeated Madison Keys in 3 sets to advance to the French Open semifinals for the 3rd time in her career. The 21-year-old African-American tennis star is aiming for her first French Open title. She finished second in 2022. The French Open semifinals are Thursday. Entertainment mogul Byron Allen is giving a boost to the HBCU Las Vegas Football Classic featuring Grambling and Jackson State. Allen has agreed to use one of his media properties, HBCU Go TV, to broadcast and stream the game live. Grambling and Jackson State play in Vegas on Saturday, October 25th at Allegiant Stadium, home of the NFL Las Vegas Raiders. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
LA's newest soul food restaurant is getting spectacular reviews.
Great place with amazing food. The Sunday champagne brunch is fabulous. I saw the place on IG. We tried it for lunch. We were blown away by the food and the service. The restaurant has an inviting atmosphere and a dynamic vibe.
Over the years, Lionel has catered most major Black events in Los Angeles, including all of our KBLA Talk 1580 gatherings. But now he has his own spot, Lionel's Soul Food Cuisine, and you need to check it out at 8501 South Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles. Oxtails, baked or fried chicken, meatloaf, turkey chops, pork chops, catfish, short ribs, and all the fixins. Collard greens, mac and cheese, yams, red beans, black-eyed peas, and more. And of course, hot water cornbread, satisfying drinks, and delicious desserts. Lionel's is a great place for brunch, lunch, or dinner. If it's good enough for us, it's good enough for you, because we've got your black. So, head on over to Lionel's Soul Food Cuisine at 8501 South Vermont Avenue in Los Angeles and tell Lionel you heard about it on KBLA Talk 1580.
Black Music Month. This is June, and so we are celebrating the best of black music, and every day during the month of June that I'm on the air, all 3 hours of our program, we choose an artist of the day, our artist in residence, if you will, and we play some of the best of their stuff all 3 hours, and so we bounce between R&B and hip-hop and gospel and jazz and folk and every iteration of black music. We celebrate during the month of June, and so today it's the best of L. DeBarge and the entire DeBarge family. So that means L and Switch and all those DeBarges with the great music they've produced and put on the soundtrack of our lives. And just so happens that today is Eldra, L. DeBarge's 64th birthday. Happy birthday to L, if you're listening right about now. But all 3 hours today, some of the best of the DeBarge family out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. I ain't mad at them. In this hour, 2 conversations as promised. We all love Venus and Serena, but we'll talk about the new generation of black female tennis stars tearing it up at the French Open this year. And I suspect talk a bit about the NBA Finals when my sports guy Ray Richardson joins us on the backside of this hour. But we commenced this hour with Daniel Kyri, best known for playing Darren Ritter on the hit TV show Chicago Fire. Now, 14 seasons in? Glad to have Daniel on to talk about his latest title role in the audio drama Hamlet, which has its world listing premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival this week. Daniel, welcome to Tavis. Smiley, how are you, sir?
Hey, what is up, legend? It is so good to talk to you, man. How you doing? I'm good.
I'm glad that you're well, and I'm fine. Thanks for asking. If I complained, I'd be an ingrate, and thank you for the kind words. I'm honored to have you on this program for these minutes. I mentioned the Chicago Fire, I think, is in season 14. That's a long run for a TV show. Tell me when and where you entered and what you've made of your turn on Chicago Fire.
Yeah, man, I came in back in 2018. That would be season 7 of the show. Mm-hmm. Originally, I'm born and raised in Chicago, right? So I'm a Chicago kid, and I had been doing theater there for a while. So I went in, for the audition of a small part, supposed to be maybe a 3-episode arc. That 3 episodes, I went in, I did my thing. That became 7 seasons for me on the show. And so, it just was this small thing that, I showed up as myself and I did my thing with my craft and my skills, and they saw something there. So they kept writing for me. I became a series regular on the show. Being able to represent and put on for my city.
Yep. There are a couple of things I want to give you a chance to unpack right quick here. First of all, what is it like and how does it feel when you get a bit part on something and you so impress people with your skills that they write bigger parts for you and make you a regular on the series? It wasn't planned that way, but to your point, if they hadn't seen something in you, you wouldn't have gotten 7 seasons out of it. So give me a sense how it feels to walk on something as a bit player and so impress the powers that be that they expand your role.
Man, I mean, that's the dream, right? I mean, anybody anywhere who has put so much time and energy and finances and just, so much of their life into something in order to build a career, it's the dream that you can walk into a space and you can kind of show off what you have to offer and that somebody actually sees, some value in that. It's one of the best feelings in the world. And this was something that for me, young actor coming in, auditioning, I'm a part of that hustle. I get so many no's left and right. Mm-hmm. And so for me to come in, to get that yes, and to not only get that yes, but to get the yes and, right, that continuation, that, was so affirming for me. It made me feel like my light was, finally shining and people were picking up what I was putting down. Man, it's the best feeling in the world. It's the dream.
Yeah. You mentioned you're a Chicago kid. So what is it like then growing up in Chicago and then being cast on an iconic show about Chicago, like Chicago Fire?
It went crazy. I just mean, like, in the best way possible. Because, my family is still there. My G-Ma has still got her place on the South Side and whatever. And so, going into our community that I grew up in and having people be like, yo, like, what's up? What's up, big time? Or like, whatever the thing was, like, to actually like revisit my community and my people, and for them to look and go like, you're on to something, you're doing it. I mean, that's just the cherry on top, man. And to really get the feedback from my people, like, you're representing us well. I mean, that's just the best compliment that you want to hear as an artist, as an entertainer. Yeah. So yeah, it's been great.
No, you can't do much better than that if you grow up in a city and end up being cast in a seminal show about the city and all your fellow Chicagoans can shout you out and see you do your thing in real time. I can't imagine what that must feel like for Daniel Kyri. Again, best known for playing Darren Ritter on Chicago Fire. When we come forward, we'll talk about his latest title role in the audio drama Hamlet, which again has its world listing premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival this week. You're listening to Daniel Kyri on Tavis Smiley as we celebrate June Black Music Month.
If you just don't like me, don't care too much for me, don't play with my feelings, let me know. Stop, don't tease me, baby, you got to please me. My body's burning for your love. Ooh, stop, don't tease me, baby.
Generous listening.
Charitable listening.
It's why everybody wants to talk to Tavis. The conversation continues when we come forward.
Make a move into a home of your own. With City National Bank's Ladder Up Home Loan Grant, you could receive up to $20,000 that you never need to pay back. Use it toward your down payment, save on closing costs, or to buy down your mortgage rate. Find out more at cnb.com/ladderuphome. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Property must be in a qualifying market in California, New York, or New Jersey. Additional terms and conditions apply. Not all applicants will qualify. Terms are subject to change without notice. City National Bank is an equal housing lender. Member FDIC. NMLS number 536994.
KBLA Talk 1580 congratulates Pastor and Mrs. William Sachs Epps on their retirement from stewardship at the historic Second Baptist Church. Dr. Epps has faithfully served Second Baptist as its senior pastor for 37 years. What a legacy of love and leadership. Pastor and Mrs. Epps will be honored at a luncheon on Saturday, July 26, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Sheraton Universal Hotel in Universal City, and you're invited to attend. Noted scholar Dr. Michael Eric Dyson is the keynote speaker. For ticket information, please contact epsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. That's epsretirement@gmail.com or call 213-399-2103. To Pastor Epps and First Lady Epps, congratulations from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm LA City Councilman Curran Price, inviting you to join us on Saturday, June the 14th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. as we cut the ribbon on the brand new Enel Woods Park at 8703 South McKinley Avenue. Thanks to a generous donation from Heal the Bay, the park features smart irrigation, stormwater capture systems, and space for local wildlife to thrive. And we've built a walking trail, picnic areas, native landscaping, and quiet spaces for families to gather, relax, and connect. This is part of a much larger effort to expand green spaces across South LA with 3 new parks in the works, a first-of-its-kind community center coming soon, and plans to connect it all through the South LA Greenway. So mark your calendar for Saturday, June 14th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and come celebrate a greener, stronger South LA at Enel Woods Park. I'm also pleased to sponsor the Climate Justice plus Black Health Symposium, moderated by Tavis Smiley, live on C-SPAN, Wednesday, June the 18th, from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Nate Holden Performing Arts Center. Just a reminder to sign up right away at the KBLA1580.com website to join me, Mayor Karen Bass, Congresswoman Sidney Kamlader-Dove, Tennessee State Representative Justin Pearson, Dr. Cornel West, former Congressman Jesse Jackson Jr., the Sierra Club's Ben Jealous, and other Black influencers in the climate and health fields, as we continue to amplify the connection between climate and poor health outcomes for our people. Thank you for listening. I'm Councilman Curran Price.
Less monologue, more dialogue. Tavis Smiley continues right now.
When it feels like the world is on your shoulders and all of the madness has got you going crazy, it's time to get out, step out into the street where all of the action is right there at your feet. Well, I know a place where we can dance the whole night away underneath the electric stars. Just come with me and we can shake your blues right away. You'll be doing fine once the music starts. Oh, feel the beat of the rhythm of the night, dance until the morning light.
I'm Tavis Smiley. Glad to have you with us in this hour. We love the month of June around here. It signals not just summertime, but gives us a good excuse to play music in and out of all these conversations. All 3 hours of our show every day as we celebrate Black Music Month. And so today we're playing some of the best of El DeBarge and DeBarge. Today happens to be, as I said earlier, L's 64th birthday. So happy birthday, L. But today it's DeBarge. Who knows tomorrow who we're going to play all 3 hours. But today, the best of L and the entire DeBarge family as we celebrate, again, June, Black Music Month. Speaking of music, Daniel Kyri has a new EP. It's called Childish Games. We're going to play a track for you from that EP called Got Me a few moments from now as we advance in this conversation. But I want to commence right about now, though, with this new audio drama called Hamlet. So it's a 6-episode audio adaptation of the classic play by, of course, William Shakespeare. And Hamlet stars the Chicago kid, Daniel Kyri. So, Daniel, tell me about this Hamlet audio series.
Oh man, so I'm a classically trained actor, right? So I have spent a lot of time studying Shakespeare and other classic playwrights. And Hamlet has been a bucket list role for me for a while, and I actually had the opportunity to play him on stage back in 2018, the summer of 2018. And so this is my sort of revisiting the story. But what is really cool about this iteration of it, Jeremy McCarter, who is the AD of Make Believe Association and also directed this piece for podcasts, for audio, came to me and he said, I want to do a Hamlet solely from Hamlet's point of view, from his perspective, and invite audiences to what it is like inside his head. And I think, I listened to the project for the first time all the way through a couple of weeks back. And it is quite an accomplishment, man. Like it's a feat for sure and a huge undertaking, but we are so successful in the sound design and in the performances that we get. I mean, it's an incredible cast full of wonderful actors and familiar names. Some, you'll be familiar with. It's just this really heartbreaking and frantic and like bloody retelling of this story just from his perspective. And it's really, really cool. It's fresh.
Yeah. What is it like bringing, to your point earlier, you've had a chance to play this on stage in your career. What is it like bringing a piece like Hamlet to life in podcast form?
It's a little bit like, it's like being in an echo chamber a little bit, right? Because for me, I didn't get that kind of instant gratification that you get when you're doing something on stage in front of a live audience, right? Mm-hmm. If people are feeling something, you can feel it. If they're not, whatever, you get that feedback in real time. For this, it was just really a challenge of staying in the moment, being in the moment, and trusting that moment without that instant feedback. And just trusting in the story that we were trying to tell. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like in this thing by myself. I'm strapped up, like mics all over me, because it's kind of like the motion capture of audio, what our engineer has done. And we would be in this studio and we would have other actors come in or whatever, and we would stage stuff so that when you're listening, as the listener, you kind of get, like, if somebody is talking and, yapping in my right ear, you can hear it in your right ear or left or like whatever, and you can kind of feel things moving around you. So the story is really centered, yes, on Hamlet, but also on you, the individual listener. So yeah, I mean, it was a different take on it, and it really married my film experience and my theater experience together, because we also recorded things out of sequence, so that can be kind of difficult to track where you're at.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a big muscular feat for me to kind of tackle.
Yeah, I obviously I know tons of actors. Have had the honor to interview many over the course of my career, and I know this notion, and I've made a few cameos myself over the course of my career, and so I know what it means to tape stuff out of sequence. It always throws me off. How do you find your bearing when you're taping anything out of sequence, especially something like Hamlet?
It's all about the work that you put in before you show up to the studio or on set, man. For real, like you have to be so detailed in tracking where you're at, in the story, because this is also the story of a young man that's absolutely losing his mind. He is paranoid and he is violent, and you have to kind of track where he is in the story in that process, right? Because he starts at one point. His dad has died. You know what I'm saying? No spoiler, right?
Yeah.
His dad has died at the beginning. So this young man he's grieving at the top. You know what I'm saying? And so there's sadness and there's all of that heavy depressive stuff. And then there's that moment, right, where he encounters the ghost and like he's ready to take action. And then he starts trying to figure out how to take action and when and what to do, and then eventually it gets to the murderous stuff.
Yeah.
So you just got to be dialed in on that and locked in and you have to know where you are at all times. And I journal a lot, so I'm able to track a lot of stuff just through my characters, like journal. And I could just go to a page and be like, okay, so this is what I figured out for this moment. So let me get into that headspace.
Yeah. Is there anything, and I mean anything, take it as you will, is there anything about Hamlet about which you personally resonate with?
I think, this young man is somebody whose entire world has just shifted, like the rug's been pulled out from underneath him. And I think that is a way in for myself as an actor and for also the audience member. We've all, if you've lived this life long enough, right, you have had that moment.
Oh, yeah.
Where something has completely, irreversibly changed in your life and the way that you live it. And so for me, I've experienced that a few times in my life, like personal griefs, like whatever, right? Those are the things that I identify with the most, because when you're in that space, you're questioning everything about the world the way that you thought the world was.
Yeah.
And so that's a really juicy, meaty part of the thing that I can personally relate to.
Yeah. As a black man, and I'm asking this question specifically in this frame, as a black man, what has been the benefit, the value to you as an artist to have been classically trained?
The benefit, man, I think that it has lent itself toward versatility in my practice. I think, we look at the greats in Black entertainment or know that these are people who can exist in multiple spaces in multiple ways. They've got their brand, they've got their thing that they do well. I'm thinking like Whoopi Goldberg, Eddie Murphy, these people who start out maybe in one thing, which is comedy, and then they go, and the next thing you know, they're in an action thing or they're in a drama. I mean, when Whoopi did, Color Purple, come on, right? So I think that having that training to fall back on, that foundation, that skill set that you work on is invaluable in our process as entertainers. So that's the benefit that I personally got from my training, is that I know I can do comedy. I know I can do drama. I know I can do action. You know what I'm saying? I know I can do classical text like Shakespeare.
Yeah.
So to have that versatility is something that's really valuable.
Since you went so quickly and so easily to Whoopi Goldberg as that iconic character in Color Purple, I'm going to put you on the spot here and ask you to give me 2 or 3 just random performances. You can do it. I mean, it's a random question, but 2 or 3 performances of great actors that you just have just been blown away by as you study the craft. So you gave me Whoopi and Color Purple. Give me 2 more.
All right. I'll give you, let's see. I mean, honestly, Anjanou Ellis and pretty much anything that she is in, I think she's incredible. I believe that the name of the movie is Cast Origin. And I really was in love with that, with the context of that story and the way that it tackles just, Black history, the lens that it goes through. And then I'll also say, for me, one of my personal favorites is Will Smith. I think that man is so versatile. Like he, was the box office king for a minute. And I remember being like a young kid, and I saw, this is going to be funny a little bit, but I saw I Am Legend, right? There's this scene in I Am Legend, because this is the one, like I said, funny, but this is the one where he's like alone for the first chunk of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's completely alone, and you see the effect that it has on him psychologically, and he only has this dog. And the dog, there's this scene, scene where the dog is changing, there's a death scene. He has to kill the dog. And I remember watching that. I was with my pops, bro. No, really, I was with my pops in the theater, like trying to hold it in, like sniffling. He did that. That role was so dope to me, for real. And like, this is a man, I watch Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
So this is another person that I've seen do different things, and he got me.
Yeah.
I will gas that man up forever. I don't know why, but that scene really got me.
Ain't nothing wrong with gassing up Big Willie. I ain't mad at you. Speaking of doing different things, Will Smith has done many different things in his career, but so is Daniel Kyri. He's, as I mentioned, Chicago Fire, breakout star there. He's playing the lead role in Hamlet, this 6-part audio series that we just talked about here a moment ago. At this audio drama has its world listing premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival this week, Thursday, tomorrow to be exact. But speaking of different things, he also has an EP out. It's called Childish Games, and this track is called Got Me.
I just can't leave you alone. Damn. You got me, got me. Craving your kisses, your lips is up against my skin, babe. You got me, got me. Wanting your arms around me, you're pulling me in. Hit my line like you want me. Yeah, I know what you own. I know it's wrong. Still feel like you belong. Ain't it trying to get away? Swear I learned my lesson. Then you up and text me something just to make me stay. I must be crazy.
See, I hate people like Daniel Kyri. I hate people like Daniel Kyri. Just too much talent in one body. Let that ride, Miles. So he's on the stage, he's on the screen, he's doing Hamlet in a 6-part podcast series. He's got an EP out. This Negro can sing. Tell me about this new EP, Childish Games, Daniel Kyri.
Yeah, bro. Thank you. I appreciate you, bro. I also grew up doing musical theater, right? So I have a love and appreciation for music. I'm a little bit newer to kind of finding my voice and my style, but I've been influenced by the Ushers and the Music Soul Childs of the world, and this is my way of just kind of telling my story through my own voice, right, and to kind of showcase this other side of my artistry. I'm in this to connect with people and to connect in a way where I can tell stories that just either make us feel good or make us feel something, especially in this day and age, right? So this is just my way of doing that. This is, this EP Childish Games is all about relationships to bad habits, situationships, romantic relationships, and also most importantly, your relationship to yourself. This all happened during my solar return, right? Yeah. So this was like 27, 28, 29. And it kind of, it beat me up a little bit, and I just needed to make something to make me feel better about the lessons I learned during that time. So this is that Childish Games.
I can't say I'm glad you went through that, but such is life. But I'm glad you went through it, because what we get out of it is a great EP called Childish Games. I love that track. I think it's fire. It's called Got Me. Again, the EP is called Childish Games. And so Daniel, congratulations on the EP. Congrats on this new 6-part, this new 6-episode audio adaptation of the classic play Hamlet by William Shakespeare. Congrats on the Chicago Fire run. You're doing some great work, man. I'm honored to have had you on this program. All the best to you, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. You're an absolute legend, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
You were kind to say that. Thank you, sir. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
Why does Tavis say, when we come forward? Because he's not going back. And you don't have to go back either. Forward ever, backward never. More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. 9 Democrats will face off tonight in the first New York City mayoral debate. Former Governor Andrew Cuomo leads the pack, while Mayor Eric Adams, running as an independent, won't be on stage. Mayor Adams went after him on Tuesday.
I spent so much time fixing the governor's mess. You know, if you look at a lot of the energy that I had to do, I had to correct what he put in place.
The 2-hour debate starts at 7 p.m. with no live audience. Revenue at the Kennedy Center has plunged since President Trump took over as board chair. Season pass sales are down 36% and single ticket sales dropped 50%. Trump blames woke programming and says he's restoring family-friendly shows. And Lil Wayne is hitting the road this summer with the Carter 6 tour, kicking off July 30th in Virginia and wrapping up October 2nd in Florida. His new album drops this Friday with a launch show at Madison Square Garden in New York. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Is this the title?
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers and Angels pulled out close wins in the 10th inning last night. The Dodgers got a walk-off double from Freddie Freeman in the 10th to beat the New York Mets 6-5. The Angels held on for a 4-3 win at Boston. The Angels are a game above 500 on the road. Coco Gauff defeated Madison Keys in 3 sets to advance to the French Open semifinals for the 3rd time in her career. The 21-year-old African-American tennis star is aiming for her first French Open title. She finished second in 2022. The French Open semifinals are Thursday. Entertainment mogul Byron Allen is giving a boost to the HBCU Las Vegas Football Classic featuring Grambling and Jackson State. Allen has agreed to use one of his media properties, HBCU Go TV, to broadcast and stream the game live. Grambling and Jackson State play in Vegas on Saturday, October 25th at Allegiant Stadium, home of the NFL Las Vegas Raiders. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. You ready?
Somebody make some noise in this joint.
KBLA Talk 1580 celebrates its 4th anniversary this year on Juneteenth.
Here we go again.
Hard to believe 4 years has gone by so fast.
Oh my God.
But here we are, still standing, still loving and serving our people as best we can.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we have 4 big events, and you're invited to all of them.
She got a lot to say. Let's do this.
Let's get it on.
On Wednesday, June 18th, we go live on C-SPAN for the 2nd consecutive year with our Climate Justice plus Black Health Symposium. Tavis Smiley will moderate an all-star panel of thinkers and influencers as we continue our vitally important climate justice work.
Hey, Tavis Smiley, talk about.
On Thursday, June 19th, you're invited to join us as we celebrate Juneteenth and our 4th anniversary. There'll be plenty of food, fun, great music, good vibes, and all of your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts will be there.
Yeah, man.
Flip the beat. On Saturday, June 21st, there are 2 big events you're invited to attend.
I can't wait to hear it.
This year, KBLA Talk 1580 continues its annual partnership with the Empowerment Congress for a community celebration and dialogue to educate, engage, and empower. This year's theme is Resilience in the Face of Chaos.
Can't wait to see what's up next.
Y'all ain't ready for this.
And new this year is our State of Black Women in Los Angeles Symposium, moderated by Dominique Dupree Freeman with a luncheon to follow. Dominique will be leading a dialogue with some of the most impactful Black women leaders in Los Angeles, and you're invited to join.
This is it.
All of these events are free, but seating is limited, so you must register in advance at our KBLA1580.com website, where you can find all the details you need about each event.
Check it out.
It's our 4th anniversary, and we would love to celebrate it with you.
I love you guys so much. There's nothing you can do about it.
We're KBLA Talk 1580.
The only black talk radio station west of the Mississippi.
Thank you for having our black.
Happy anniversary, KBLA.
We love you. Love you.
More honesty than you can handle. More empowerment than you can imagine. You're tuned in to Tavis Smiley.
I used to think about immature things. You know, like, do you love me? Do you want me? Are you gonna call me like you said you would? Is this really your real phone number? But you know, I'm a man now, baby, a grown man. And I came a long way. And experience taught me one thing. Taught me to hold on to my love. Sometimes I just can't help thinking living without you, baby. See, sometimes I just can't live crying about you, baby. I'm not worried about a doggone thing. I take anything you bring. Although I love the sunshine, I still accept the rain. 'Cause when I'm in my lonely mood and I just can't be with you, I tried everything to occupy my mind, and there was no substitute. Thinking all that life would be when you were not around. I just could not find a way. I wouldn't even know up from down. But since I had you in my life, all things can be found so strong and true.
We're celebrating Black Music Month the entire month of June, and if you are a regular listener to this program, I hope that means you, and you. You know we do it every day that I'm on the air live during the month of June. We pick a different artist of the day, and we play some of the best of their contributions to Black music as we know it. We hit all the genres. Today it's R&B, and today it's El DeBarge. Why? Because today happens to be El's 64th birthday. So it's El DeBarge and the entire DeBarge family. Of course, that is Switch, but the DeBarges have given some great music to the culture over the years. And so, again, every day this month we're celebrating June as Black Music Month, and today we're featuring some of the best of the DeBarge family. All right, my sports guy is here, as I promised he would be, Ray Richardson, host of his own program on my flagship station in L.A. Of course, this program is syndicated, as I say all the time. For that, I am grateful, deeply grateful. But he's my sports guy on my home station here in L.A., KBLA Talk 1580, and delighted to have him back in studio. Lots to talk about. Good to see you, first of all, Ray.
Good to see you, too. Glad to be here with you.
Glad to have you here. Let me start with these sisters who have been showing out at the French Open. Coco Gauff has reached the French Open semifinals. Mm-hmm. And I started the show today by saying everybody loves Venus, everybody loves Serena. And, you know, with all due respect to Althea Gibson, for a long time, she was it.
Yeah.
And then, here come Venus and Serena. And now there's another generation of young Black female tennis players who are representing, and Coco has really been showing out at the French Open.
This is a young lady who I think a lot of people have some real high hopes for. But she hasn't had the same kind of elevation and progress as Venus and Serena. That's a great comparison. Mm-hmm. And I think it's worthy of noting that she's a different kind of player than those two. Venus and Serena, they came at you. They had a powerful game. Mm-hmm. Coco's golf is a little bit more sophisticated, but she's got a great forehand. She does great on her backhand, but she's just not as powerful as those two. But she is equally as adept as winning some games, winning some matches. She's got a real fluid motion to her game. And she's a little bit, and I don't want to put anything down on Venus and Serena, but to me, I see a little more likability in her. And she's really making her mark. Now, she's 21 already. She's a little bit behind the curve, just a little bit, because Venus and Serena, they were knocking people down when they were teenagers.
Exactly.
And so Coco's got a little ground to make up, but, man, she's representing herself very well. And if she can win this French Open, she's in the semis, this can really be a really major boost to her career. She's had so many close finishes in the other Grand Slams. She's only won one Grand Slam title in her career. She needs to knock this one off to really get herself on the trajectory of becoming a big-time player in this game, and she's almost there.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier, and you said no knock on Venus and Serena, but for some there was a likability issue, how they related to other people. And certainly when they came out initially with the braids and the beads, and they were boxed in.
They were showing their culture.
Yeah, they were showing their culture. Yeah, and that in some ways boxed them in all those years ago. Their choice, their agency, ain't nobody mad at them. Coco has a different way of showing up, as you mentioned. But I wonder whether or not, and it may be too soon at this point to really give them the respect they deserve. But again, while there was Althea Gibson, all due respect to her, Venus and Serena knocked down a whole bunch of doors to make it a little bit easier. I mean, tennis is obviously a very white sport.
Yeah.
And it's difficult for black people to break in that way. Think about Althea Gibson. Think about Arthur Ashe. I never knew Althea Gibson, of course, but I met and spent some time with Arthur Ashe over the years. And to just hear his stories privately of what he had to endure on the circuit as a black man. Again, gracious to a core. So there you got Arthur Ashe in tennis, you got Jackie Roosevelt Robinson in baseball. I mean, these are different kinds of characters, and you have to navigate that space all by yourself.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a long way of saying I don't know that we have enough distance from their greatness, Venus and Serena, that is, to really appreciate all they had to endure to make it possible for Coco and Madison Keys and others to show up as they are. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
Coco has made a point to really salute Venus and Serena no matter how far she's gone. I don't know if you know this, but when Coco was 15, she beat Venus when Venus was 39 in Wimbledon.
I remember this.
And she almost cried when she had to go shake her hand to say congratulations, because she knew how much Venus meant to her as a legend, as a role model. So she's done a tremendous job in making a connection between what's happening today and what happened before. She's not bashful. She will say that those two opened the doors for her, and she's not afraid to say that. And that's commendable on her part to really reach out to Venus and Serena and say that I'm playing this game mainly because of what you two did before me.
Yeah. The other thing that you raised that I want to come to right quick here is her track record of winning. At some point, she needs to start winning. To your point, she's only won one.
Yeah.
If she's going to be a great in the pantheon of, Serena's by herself, of course, but if she's going to be in the pantheon or in the conversation with Venus and Serena and Althea, she better start winning some of these tournaments.
Yeah, she's had a second-place finish at the French Open in 2022. Right. She finished third in the Australian Open one year. She's gotten close, but you know what? Even though she only got one title, it hasn't hurt her marketability at all. I mean, people still want to see her play.
Yeah.
She still gets invited to all the major events. But the only thing that's missing is just having one more, two more, three more of those Grand Slam titles. And once she gets there, you're really going to see her take off in terms of notoriety. But she's almost there. I mean, she's a household name in tennis right now, and I think that's a major accomplishment for her.
How would you, and this is, again, all due respect to Venus and Serena, how would you compare the way she plays, her game, to the way that Venus and Serena play?
Well, she's a lot more fluid.
Yeah.
She doesn't have the real powerful strokes that those two had. But, man, you can watch her movement from side to side. Her backhands are real smooth. She's got more of an elegant type game, but, man, she's effective. Yeah. And when she serves sometimes, she'll surprise you. Her serve does have some power to it sometimes.
Yeah.
And if you're not ready to hit it back, it's going to go right by you. But her game is not as strong as those two, but certainly is no less than effective as that.
Let me swing out here for a second. I could be wrong about this, and if I am, you're the sports expert. You can disabuse me of this. It seems to me that Venus and Serena have more coattails in tennis than Tiger has created in golf. I'm talking about black coattails.
Yeah.
Would I be right about that?
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
For a long time, a lot of people felt like Tiger never really wanted to claim his blackness.
Mm-hmm.
And even today, that's still a question mark.
No, it ain't no question mark. it ain't no question mark.
It's sad, though. It is really unfortunate because he has done nobody else can say they've done more for golf than him.
Yeah.
He has really put golf on the pinnacle of where it never was before. And this is a black man who's done that. And to see him not really embrace his blackness more has been frustrating for me and a lot of folks who wonder, why not?
Yeah.
Now, I did see him a couple of years ago. He did a camp for HBCU golfers once.
Sure.
And I thought that was really nice of him to do that. That was a sign of him trying to reach back a little bit. But you need to see more of that.
And I'm not even trying to demonize Tiger. The only point I'm making is that it seems that there have been more black folk, more black women in particular, who picked up tennis rackets because of Venus and Serena than I've seen black guys on the golf circuit.
Well, it's almost half and half, though. I've seen a lot more black folks take up golf.
Yeah.
But you're right. A lot of parents, when they saw Venus and Serena, they bought rackets for their kids for Christmas.
Yeah.
They wanted to see their little girls become the next Venus and Serena, and rightly so. Because of them, there will be a lot more diversity in tennis, and that's something the tennis world has had to accept. If you remember, they didn't accept them too well at first.
Yeah.
They didn't think that this was the right mix and the right flavor for their sport. But for Venus and Serena's credit, as much as they were ostracized sometimes and vilified sometimes, they still supported and respected the game.
That's right.
And because of that, tennis has a lot of debt to owe to those two, and that will be forever.
Yeah, I had the honor one year of many years ago now, the Orange Bowl parade. I love in Miami because unlike the Rose Bowl parade and other parades, the Orange Bowl parade, they do it at night.
Yeah,
and they do it right down Biscayne Boulevard, right there at the beach. So one year I was honored to be the co-grand marshal of the Orange Bowl parade with Venus and Serena and their father.
Richard.
So it was Richard, Venus, and Serena. They were in one car as grand marshal. I had my own car as co-grand marshal at the Orange Bowl parade. And Mr. Williams, I'll never forget, walked up to me. We had never met. I mean, I knew who he was. Apparently, he knew me from my TV show. He walked up to me and he said, "Tavis, Smiley, what you think of that Richard Williams?" And I felt, how about that Richard Williams, Tavis, Smiley? And I fell out laughing, and we had a great night talking and hanging out. It was one of the great honors of my life to be with the Williams family as co-grand
shout out to Will Smith for the role he played in that movie. Question. He did a marvelous job playing that part.
No, we just had a guest on earlier who's a big fan of Will Smith, and so you're right. Will did that remarkably well. Okay, so we're rooting for everybody black, and that includes Coco Golf right now at the French Open. When we come forward, we'll talk about the NBA Finals with my man, my sports guy, Ray Rich, on Tavis Smiley.
Hope, agency, dignity. This is Tavis Smiley.
Can you dig it? Come on!
BET and PBS, the Tom Joyner Morning Show, and NPR, the cover of Jet and the cover of Time. #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list, 20 honorary doctorate degrees, a dozen NAACP Image Awards, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, a Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. From talk shows to talk radio, nobody's ever done it better. You like that? This is Tavis Smiley.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well-trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month.
If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Helping to make you the most knowledgeable person in your circle of friends. This is Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Ray Richardson, my sports guy. So the NBA Finals are underway. Here's my bold prediction. Game 1 is when? Friday?
Tomorrow night.
Okay, Thursday. Tomorrow night. So game 1's tomorrow night. OKC, Indiana.
Yep.
You know I'm from Indiana, so I ain't mad at the Pacers. And yet these two small markets suggest to me that this series is going to be low-rated. That's my guess, low-rated. And yet I'm sad about that because these two teams are really good. It's going to be some great basketball, but low ratings for the NBA. Am I right or am I wrong?
I'm going to kind of meet you halfway on that.
Okay.
Because this is sort of a changing of the guard, and there's a ton of basketball fans in the country who wanted to see some new faces, and they're going to see that. And I think the mystery of how these two teams would do on this big stage may draw some more folks than you think. Now, they're going to miss that New York market for sure. They're going to miss some of the L.A. market because these two teams out here being long gone. But just the basketball purists out here are going to want to see how Shai Gilgeous-Alexander can bring his team to the mountaintop.
The MVP.
The MVP.
Yeah.
And again, my condolences to Clippers fans, because he was one of you at one time. At one time he was here, and because they thought that Paul George would be a long-term better deal, they shipped him to OKC, and look where they're at right now. I'm anxious to see how he performs on this stage because he's been Revel so many years now, to the point where he's got the MVP. He's got them through the Western Conference playoffs, which was tough. Can he take him to the next step? And I think he can. I think this kid has got all the makings of a major superstar over the next few years. He's got the demeanor. He's got the makeup for it. And he's not a three-point alcoholic. I mean, he's got a mid-range game that is just solid. I think he's got the best mid-range game in the league right now. He's got the whole package. And when you got a guy like that who wants to support his team as well, and they support him, that's the right mix for a title.
It is sad to think about the fact that this guy was on the Clippers at one point.
Oh, yeah.
And now he's showing out in OKC. The other thought I've had about this was OKC is back on the big stage, and they may do it this time around. We shall see game 1 again Thursday night. But remember, OKC had Kevin Durant,
James Harden,
and
Russell Westbrook.
And they couldn't pull it off.
You know what? That was a team I thought would be the next dynasty in the
West.
West.
That's what I thought.
I thought if they could have kept those guys together, that would have been the next team. That was 2012 when they got to the finals with those three.
Yeah.
I don't know, jealousy gets in the way, egos gets in the way, contracts get in the way. You would have liked to see those guys kind of do it at least 2 or 3 more times to see if they could have done it, and I thought they could have.
When we come forward, our remaining moments with Ray Richardson, I'll ask him who he likes in the NBA Finals, OKC or Indiana. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
What's your quarrel with the world? You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
If you're like me, 60 and retired, making ends meet, especially here at the supermarket and drugstore, is tough. I'm so blessed to have found benefitscheckup.org. It's a free and confidential website from the National Council on Aging that connected me to $1,200 a year in programs that help pay for food, medicine, utilities, and more. Maybe it can help you. benefitscheckup.org.
You know where you want to go in life, and City National Bank can help. City National knows the dedication it takes to build your vision for the future into a reality, and our team is here for you. We have a wide range of options to help, from personal savings accounts to interest-bearing money market savings accounts and more. All designed to help you get where you want to go. City National, here for every stage of the journey. Learn more at cnb.com. City National Bank is a subsidiary of Royal Bank of Canada. Member FDIC.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Shh, hush up back there. Wow, I might have just set the hushing record. Well, almost. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Made fresh daily in the Mert Park, Los Angeles, California. You're listening to Tavis Smiley.
Tavis Smiley and Ray Richardson. We got 4 minutes left here. So before I get to who you like in the NBA Finals, OKC or Indiana, these two small market teams, can I just say, you mentioned New York earlier. I think Tom Thibodeau got done wrong, man.
He did.
They fired him like immediately. And yeah, the Knicks sort of melted down in the finals, but this is the deepest they've been in decades. Mm-hmm. And I think about even Malone, who they fired in Denver. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, after you win a championship a year or two before. Like, what are these general managers and owners looking for when you fire pedigree coaches?
There's something in the wind out here about likability. If you don't have the chemistry with that management or that ownership, no matter how good you are, it just seems like if you're not likable, they'd rather just do something and get somebody else. And it's not a knock on Thibodeau's coaching skills. If he had more to work with, I think he would have used his bench more. Mm-hmm. But that I want to point the shade at Leon Rose, the general manager. He's the one that built that team. Mm-hmm. He's the one that made the trades. He's the one that gave up 5 first-round draft picks for Mikal Bridges. Mm-hmm. Those were his deals, not Thibodeau's. Thibodeau was working what he had to work with. Again, that's wrong. If they do it to him, they can do it to anybody.
I suspect he'll land somewhere, though. I mean, you can't.
Somebody
he brought the Knicks back from the dead.
Yeah, he did.
Of course, before the Knicks, he was out for a while, though.
Yeah.
He hadn't had a job for a while. So we'll see if he lands someplace else.
He will, but that's going to be a job that I think a lot of coaches are going to be asking some really deep questions about ownership.
Yeah.
You know, what do you really want from me?
Yeah.
I bet you they're going to – some of the guys who have some knowledge and background on this, who have some experience like a Mike Malone, they're going to be really quizzing these guys about what is this that you really want before I take this job.
You couldn't pay me to coach in New York, especially under this ownership. I mean, this ownership in New York is what it is, and everybody knows it.
Is probably the most hated owner in the NBA right now.
I'm trying to tell you, man. You couldn't pay me to coach in New York right now. And he ain't going to sell the team no time soon, if ever. So
no, it's too valuable to him.
It is what it is. I mean, I felt the same way. I mean, again, it's the Knicks. I get it. I felt the same way about the Yankees when Steinbrenner, when the daddy, George, was the owner. Like, it's the Yankees. I get that, but you got to work for George Steinbrenner.
And
do you really want to do that?
And that ain't easy.
Yeah, I digress on that. All right, I got 6 seconds to go. Who you like, OKC or Indiana?
I'm gonna be a little contrasting here.
Okay.
I think Indiana has a shot at this.
Okay.
The way they got through the East, the way they kind of surprised people at the end of games, they were clutch. Tyrese Halliburton is the next superstar in this league. Mm-hmm. He's the next version of Reggie Miller, and they've got so much confidence right now, being able to beat some teams that are better than them. OKC better be on top of their game, because right now Indiana has all the momentum in the world you can ask for, and they're playing like they feel like they can beat anybody. I would not be surprised if they beat OKC.
Yeah. How many games?
I can see 7 for sure, but don't be surprised if it goes 6. Mm-hmm. Don't be surprised.
Okay. Well, you know where I'm from.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be mad if the Pacers pulled it.
And I know you're smiling right now. Yeah. I know you're feeling good about it, and you deserve it. You deserve it.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of rooting for you a little bit too, though.
I wouldn't be mad if the Indiana Pacers pulled this off. Ray Richardson, good to have you in the studio, man. All the best to you, my friend.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
More of Tavis Smiley when we come forward.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. 9 Democrats will face off tonight in the first New York City mayoral debate. Former Governor Andrew Cuomo leads the pack, while Mayor Eric Adams, running as an independent, won't be on stage. Mayor Adams went after him on Tuesday.
I spent so much time fixing the governor's mess. You know, if you look at a lot of the energy that I had to do, I had to correct what he put in place.
7 p.m. with no live audience. Revenue at the